I sought out the script because I was really excited because Pete's Dragon is one of my favorite childhood films. And I thought it was beautiful, and I was really amazed with the kind of perspective on the story, that it's not that this version of Pete's Dragon is not stepping on the memories of the original Pete's Dragon. I mean, this is really ultimately at its heart the story of an orphan who finds a family. And his journey to finding a family is magical and unique, definitely different, and unexpected and extraordinarily poignant. And for me, Grace, for my character, it's I would say it's her journey as well to find a family. It's her journey in finding a child, and kind of her own child, her own version of who she was as a child, and reconnecting with that again. And that was something that David and I talked a lot about, just this idea of what does it take to find a family? What does it take to find your home? What does it take to feel at home? And what does that look like? The beginning of this film is really this boy, Pete, stumbling into, because of tragedy, this dragon's life. And he names the dragon Elliot because he has a little book that he had in the back of the car with him. And Elliot is a character in the book who's lost. It's a lost puppy. And so he names him Elliot. And they take care of each other. Pete really feels like it's his responsibility to take care of Elliot. That he's almost like a parent to Elliot, and that he's got to be there for him. And then Elliot, of course, is there for Pete in every sense of the word. So they create this kind of life together, and there's this extraordinary tree fort that they build together, and Pete grows, and you see him becoming more and more feral, and he's got kind of wild long hair, and out of his backpack he's created a belt, and he's got, he sort of looks like this like little Tarzan child. She learns of his kind of tragic beginnings, and learns of a character named Elliot, who is his best friend. And he draws a picture of Elliot, and it's a dragon. And that dragon looks alarmingly similar to a dragon that her father has drawn, that she never believed. And so that's when, in the story, things start to become a little spooky as the pieces come together, and Grace starts to think, is there a dragon in this forest? I mean, how is any of this possible if there isn't a dragon? Because none of this is possible if there isn't a dragon, and yet it's not possible that there's a dragon in this forest. So that's kind of the dilemma for Grace. Grace and Jack are in a relationship, and it's a complex relationship because Grace is a forest ranger and Jack is a logger, and they're both sensible people, and they both understand each other's role, but ultimately it's the nature of their jobs really can often kind of drive a wedge between them. Getting the chance to work with Robert Redford is nothing short of an honor, and is incredibly meaningful to me. And then just, him as a guy. He's just such a cool, lovely, hardworking, smart, generous, open, beautiful man. As an actor, you don't feel out of the loop. You don't feel that you need to kind of just show up and perform something and hope that it's what the director was envisioning. I mean, I really in those conversations that David has brought me into, I felt a sense of ownership over this character, and he's permitted me a chance to be really open as to my thoughts as to might this show this, might that show that, could we add in those various colors, is that okay with you? And he's been so cool with that, and that's always really fun, because ultimately then it becomes a collaboration, and that is what filmmaking is. I mean, it's a collaboration, and he's been an awesome director. I came to New Zealand for the first time when I was 6 years old, 1987. And I came here because my dad was doing a film called Willow, and he shot on the South Island. And I have distinct memories of my time here, even though I was so young. I mean, it was stunningly beautiful. I remember people being so friendly. I mean, it was just, it was epic. It was epic feeling being here. And ever since that time when I was 6 and I came here, I've always wanted to come back. And that was, I mean, it was almost as exciting as coming to New Zealand as it was getting to do Pete's Dragon, truly. Like, when I heard, do you want to do Pete's Dragon? It was like, yes, where is it shooting? New Zealand. Oh my gosh. Like, I have been thrilled getting to come here. It is so tempting to move here because I think it's one of the best countries in the world to raise families, honestly. Bob Redford was actually saying that he feels like New Zealand is almost like what America was like during the 1930s. It's the country has I mean, obviously it's so stunningly beautiful.